Good morning. I am here with Miss Venetia Mackenzie. She is a teacher of mathematics here at St. Thomas Technical High School, and our task here is to engage in a three-stage clinical supervision process, and I'm extremely happy that you have accepted my proposal, Ms. Mackenzie, to do this, and I hope that the process will be mutually beneficial to both of us.
Good morning, Mr. Grant. Thank you, and it's a pleasure accepting.
I just want to meet with you just for this short 15 minutes conference, just to discuss some of the plans that you have for the class that you are going to be teaching today. Could you just remind me of the name of the class that you'll be working with and the average age of these students?
Okay. The name of the class is 7 or day 1 form 1C. The average age in the class is 12 years.
12 years? Okay. So, what type of students are you working with? Are they challenged students, or do you have any special students in that class?
In that class, we don't really have any special needs students, but they are challenging students as they work at a fast pace.
Yeah.
So you have to be on the ball with them,
Yeah.
and they are infused about the subject matter. So you have to be on the ball with them and give them work to challenge them.
So you are suggesting that this set of students may be a part of the higher intellectual group?
Yes, they are the higher intellectual group, and we have to give them higher order questions in order to challenge that for students.
Okay, okay. For this particular lesson, what are some of the goals that you have?
Alright, some of the goals for this lesson is that students will, I want for the students to see mathematics as not only something in the four walls of the classroom,
Yes.
or something that is abstract. So for this lesson, what we are going to do is some algebra. We'll be translating worded phrases into algebraic equations, and we'll be using something like the beam balance to show how we can solve equations.
Do you anticipate any special difficulties with this particular topic that you're looking at?
There can be difficulties with solving the equations, but I believe with the use of the beam balance or the scale, then students will be able to see exactly what we're saying, and in that case, then they should be able to get an understanding of what it is.
Were there any particular weaknesses with this group of students? Why you would have chosen this topic at this time?
No, I haven't identified any weaknesses as yet.
Just a part of the stage in the first
Just a part of the stage, yes.
Are the goals that you have for this lesson? What are some of the specific goals that you have?
Alright, some of the specific goals that I have, that students will formulate algebraic equations themselves, that they will share it with their partners. Another goal is that students will solve the equations independently. Students will create equations, solve them independently, and give to their neighbor to work it out and to see if it is correct as well.
Oh, it's an interactive.
It is an interactive lesson. Yes, it is.
Why are these goals suitable for this group of students?
Oh, nice question. These goals are suitable for this group of students as they are foundation concepts, and we believe that if the foundation is set, then things should go better later on in life. So these students are the foundation level at this time, and we're setting the foundations so that later on, when they should meet upon these topics, then the foundation should be set for them, and in that way, then they should be already to move forward.
Okay, so it's a fundamental stage. Yes. How do you think these goals support the general curriculum of maths in Jamaica at this time?
The ultimate aim for the curriculum at this time in Jamaica is that students will become more numerate, and that they will appreciate the subject matter. So here we are showing that mathematics is not just within the classroom, and that they can go outside of the classroom with subject matter. We are taking the scale in the classroom classroom where students can see it's not just pencil and book work only. And in that way we're supporting the national aim for the subject matter. And so we believe that we are in tune with the national aim as we try our best to set the specific objectives to meet the national aim so that at the end of the day everybody is aware of the national aim for the subject.
Have you ever observed any particular weaknesses in numeracy among these particular group of students?
My weakness that I would think is that students at times they are fearful of the subject, and as a result of that they hold back at times. But most of them in the class, or majority of them, has the ability to do well. They are enthused about the subject, with the exception of probably 5 boys who I think has fear for the subject. But on an individual level, when you sit with them, then you see that they have potential.
Do you think there is a need in the curriculum for maths to pay any specific attention to boys in general?
Certainly, because I do believe that they learn different, and I also believe that if the class size is reduced, then that would be better for the students.
Okay. How many students do you have in this class?
This class has approximately 52 students.
52 students.
So it is very difficult to get around to individual students at any given time.
So you think the boys have a greater challenge in this large group of students than the girls do?
Sure, because they see more attention than the girls.
They do. Do you find that boys have need for more practical, hands-on, well, as you said, individual attention?
Yes, I realize that when we do hands-on activities, that the boys gravitate towards them more, and that we get better outcomes from the boys when we come on to practical activities.
They become more enthused
and they become more enthused and engaged in the subject.
Okay. So that would be one of the goals you think that would relate to the broader curriculum.
Oh yes, that would be one of
for the national present. We're concerned your work with maths. Do you think there is any need for integration with other disciplines to improve the performance of these?
Pretty much so, because what we could do, we realized that some of the subjects like social studies, some students like English language. So what we could do is to integrate those subject areas into the topic that we're teaching, and as much as possible have them engage. Because if a student, for example, likes home economics, and we realize that they have the passion for that subject, if we can take some school into the classroom to teach mathematics, then at least we are sure, we guarantee that those students will perform. So integration is critical.
How do you, considering some of these things that I've said so far, how do you plan to engage the students with the content here, bring them alive with this particular concept in algebra?
Okay, one of the things that I noticed that these students gravitate towards music. So definitely the activities will be engaged with music. So in order for them to do the activities, I will take in some music into the classroom, and students will choose their activity. I will play the music, they choose the activity. When the music stops, then they will share their answer, or they will work in pairs. But music is essential. I noticed that they gravitate towards it. That the music that is a key part in this situation.
Could you tell me of one specific thing that you may be doing, and then one specific thing that they will be doing?
Alright, for solving the equation, I will be showing them, I will be doing an activity with the scale to show things balance and unbalance. Then what I will do is to have students come to the board or to the scale and show me how they could make that thing balancing.
Okay. So again, that would be an engaging
activity.
What difficulties, considering this area and possibly some of the basic skills that will be required in algebra, what difficulties do you anticipate you will find teaching this lesson?
Alright, difficulties that I anticipate. For one, the fact that we will be presentation, I know for a fact that some students will be saying they can't see this, say to the abstract. So that is one reason I will take in something literal to them to show that this is it. And then now, after doing that, I'll be using a letter now, an unknown letter, to represent that known thing, and then we can go back and show them how things can be abstract.
So by creating a parallel between the abstract concepts and the more tangible concepts, you anticipate smoothing out the problem. Yes. What instructional materials, apart from those you have mentioned so far, apart from the music, would you use?
Well, the main one for this lesson is really the balancing.
Okay.
That's the main thing, and the algebra basket or algebra bag. I'll be having that.
Yeah.
That algebra basket or the algebra bag will be used to give students the activity.
Okay, excellent. I can see the passion in your expression for this particular lesson.
But definitely, because if you don't have the passion, then students won't have any interest in something.
Indeed, that is true. How do you plan to assess the students to discover whether they have achieved the goals that you have?
Alright, I will be giving students a pop quiz.
Pop quiz?
A pop quiz.
Okay.
Because we have a pop quiz on them. I believe that at the end of the day, after going through everything, I want to see exactly what students understand. So I'll be giving them a pop quiz, a written pop quiz, to see what exactly they are doing and they understand what's happening.
Yes, yes. The procedure that you use for the pop quiz, will it be a competitive or an individual?
It will be an individual one, and I'll be using the journal as well, journal entry. We normally do the journal entry to see exactly students can get to communicate on individual level.
Yes.
To see exactly what is it that you understand, what you did not, what you like about it, and in that way I can just analyze and know what to do as to what to do, how will I will move forward.
Yes, yes, yes. Do you have any rubrics that you will be using or any scoring method for this pop quiz?
I don't have a specific one, but what I do is a lot marks for each of the questions, and I'll be marking it out of 50.
Oh, so the scoring guide will be from a measurement.
Yes, from a measurement.
How do you plan to use the results that you get from this assessment?
Oh, that's my interest. What I will do now is to see exactly those students who are below the standard.
Yes.
And for those students in particular who are below, who perform below the expected level, I'll be taking them during their lunchtime or after school to see exactly what is the problem, work with them and to see how much I can be able to improve on the subject matter. Those who are above the expected level, I will continue to give them more, and those who are at average, I will encourage them, motivate them, and continue to give them more.
From your previous experience, how does this additional time impact on their performance?
For one, students see exactly that you have interest in them, and you get the interest from them in the subject matter. Some didn't show interest at all, but after all, I guess after looking back, then they realize that they have the ability, or somebody has seen the ability in them, and they try to improve. It has worked. I realized that when you give them the individual attention, then they believe that there's something inside of them.
Yeah. Meeting with them at lunchtime out of class, you observe that it has a specific impact on improving the scores that they get?
Most of the time.
Yes, yes. Alright. One last question. How do you see this particular lesson using any of the material that you have done in another topical area leading up to this lesson? Or is it purely a new concept?
Well, I have started the basic algebra in terms of allowing them to identify expressions and so forth. So it is a follow-up activity for this.
Oh, excellent. I have really enjoyed this intellectual intercourse, Ms. Mackenzie, and I believe that when I do come to your class to see the actual lesson, I believe that I'll be seeing some revolutionary happenings. Thank you very much for having me, and I hope that as we go forward, our relationship will be mutually beneficial. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure, and I accept it with grace. That's a nice smile, and I hope that you enjoy the lesson. I guarantee that you enjoy it.
Okay.
You like math, Alright, good afternoon, Mackenzie. Alright, today we'll be doing writing algebraic equations and solving linear equations. There are some activities, so we'll go through that first. Alright, so number one, let's do number one.
I think of a number, add 5 to it, and the result is 7.
Okay, can we have a volunteer now to share with us the response for that? Click on it. Can you hear at the back?
No. Yes.
Can you hear what that said? So what is the expression? Alright, everybody have that?
Yes.
Alright, next one, number 2.
A number divided by 3, and the result is 7.
I think of a number divided by 3 and the result is
7.
Alright, now we have somebody at the back this time. What that said to share with us. Casey, go ahead.
X divided by 7. X divided by 3 equals 7.
X divided by 3 equals 7. So I think of a number, the number is what? X, right? You divide by 3 and the result is
7.
Correct. P, what if we add P? I think of a number, you want to have P? P by 3 equals 7. Correct. Alright, number 3.
A certain number is 12.
3 times a certain number is 12, and we're going to take a meal this time with that.
3 times 4.
No, but we don't know what the number is. Do we know the number? No, we are trying to find the number. We take that afterwards. A meal this time, a meal.
3 times x equals 12.
3 times x equals 12. Alright, but we know that 3 times x is the same as what?
3x.
So we will write 3x equals 12. And the last one now that we have. Okay, go ahead.
1/2 number is 8.
1/2 times that number is 8. And what do we have? Where do you have that?
Yes.
Okay, next one. 2/3 that number increase by
5 is 7.
Alright, our number is 8. Say it is what?
2/3 here and
You get 2/3 equals 17. Alright, next.
Miss is the side, miss. At the side, please.
Alright, no, next one. Sajay, you come and write this one on board. That's write an equation, and then we're going to exchange it with three persons, three more persons, and then they will tell us what it works. So any three persons would like to write three equations, just three equations. Any three volunteers? Three equations. Just write three equations. Alright, so Alona will write one equation. So Alona will write one, Donna will write one, and Whitley will write one. Go ahead and write. Come Alona. And who's the other person? Donald? Come. Alright, so we need three more persons now. Alright, Monica will do one, and May, we need a male. Calvin and you want to come into that one? Alright. No, right over that side. So come now, what you do is to write this in words now. Tell it was in words. Come and tell it was in write it over that side so we can have space to write. Alright, next we got Alright, so let's make that one. 3 times x equals 9. Let us see what Onika has on the board. Let us read Onika's board.
3 times a certain number equals 9.
Would you say that that's correct?
Yes, please.
Alright, correct. Alright, let us see what Sharona K has on the board.
5 times a number equals 60.
Would you give that a tip?
Yes, please.
Alright, and let us see what Calvin will write. Here. Calvin, you're doing number 2. Anyone want to help? Me! Alright, that's male. Since
Me.
it's a male, let you run, Elvin. Go ahead and Alright, so while we wait and then we get here, we are heading to solving equations. So you can head of that in the meantime. Solving equations. Alright, even it's fine, very fine. But let us, anybody can read it?
Certain number plus 8 equals 10.
Please, I didn't hear one word. Let's go at it. 1 my 8. Alright, thanks. So those are verbs. Alright, now, when you look at this now, what's going to be your name? Remember, we're not at the market, right? Seesaw. Alright, so it's a seesaw. What else? Unequal. Alright, we have some words. Unbalanced.
Equivalent.
Where's the eraser?
Equivalent.
Alright, any more? Yes. Wait. And another one. Gravity. Scale. Alright, no, very good. And alright, check where it's been. This is a seesaw or it's a scale. What do you notice about it? It is unbalanced. Alright. What do you notice about this one now? Balance. Alright, so we're going to see how much we can get this to balance. Alright? So what I want you to do is sketch this here. Yes, ma'am. And remember now that this one we can work. Yes. 6, don't it? But remember that people, we want them to be the same, don't it? Yes.
After lunch,
I
I was waiting for them after lunch. Tell them that the trip is on the 7th of April and the fare is $600.
We're not hearing one word, Siobhan.
$600.
Okay, so he's saying that we would take the 3 from this side, put it on that side, right? So let's just try it and see what we will get. So we have our 2 kg, 3 kg, and the 3 kg that we put here. We take away the 3 from this one. I know, we want to see if it's real balanced, right? So let's just check it out. 2 plus 3, 5 plus 3, 8. So it's 8 on this side. Yes. We have 8 on that side. Yes. I know what we need to look at this is. We had 3 on this side, right? So when you have something, what kind of 3 is that? You have it, this positive. So it's a plus 3 on this side. How did we get it on this side?
Negative.
Borrow. We borrow it?
Yes.
And what is that?
Negative.
It's a negative. So where did we take it from?
The positive.
From the positive. Okay. Take off that one and then let's just go and examine that statement.
You should have this plus 3. Yes, sir.
Alright, now let's go back now. What did we do to the 3 on this side? What did we do?
Borrow.
And that's another one. Negative, right? And what did we do on this side? Leave. Alright, now if you notice this is what type of 3 is this? Positive 3, what kind of 3 is this? Alright, now what can you tell me? What do you notice about the 3? What kind of 3 are they? Or what's the relationship between them? You're saying the word, man. Huh? They're opposite, don't it? Are they opposite? Yes. Alright. So if you notice now, what we're saying is these people. What you do to this side people, we're going to do it to the other side and automatically to become the what? Opposite, right? Alright. Which one? Which is heavier? Yes, Calvin? So which is lighter? So the 180 will be going down. The heavier one is going to go down? Yes. Alright, very good observation. You didn't see it? Alright, no, very good. Sorry. Alright, no. So what we're saying is that the heavier one will do what? Down, and the lighter one will? Alright, very good. It means that you're looking. So we should have what on this side? 180 and 200. Alright, now, how can we get this to balance now? Chase it. Alright, subtracting from this side? Alright, so we have subtracting. And we said that we're working with what? Opposites, don't it? So if we're subtracting 10 from that side, then what are we going to do to the other side? Add 10, right? So plus 10. What will it become now? We're going to get 190. 190. Get it balanced, don't it?
Yes, miss.
Alright, take off that one now and then let's just see how we can transfer the information to algebra. Sorry, plus 4 equals 8. Alright, now, if you know this represents what? This? Come on, what does this represent? If we're going to do that, this balance, right? And if we're going to write the equation, now what does that represent? This equal sign. You notice that?
Yes.
So we want to be x plus, this represents the equal sign. I want you to look at the value. Look at the equation and tell me what you think the value of x would be. 4. Because we want 8 on this side. They're saying that something plus 4 gives you 8. Alright, now remember we said that when we're doing it, we need to think about the opposite, don't we? Yes. So the x plus 4 equals what? 8. Alright, now so we're going to look at the 4. And see what is happening to the 4, and then we're going to do the opposite. Alright? So what is happening to the 4 on that side? Go ahead, you can go ahead. What is x doing? What is 4 doing to the x on this side? You're adding. See here? So we're adding 4 on this side. Whatever the number is, they add what? 4 to it, don't it? Alright. And if we want to find the value of that number, we need to do the what? Opposite, right? What is the opposite of this? Minus 4. So let us see if we will get the answer. So if we're going to subtract 4, then it will be 8 minus 4, don't it? And 8 minus 4 is what? 4. So let us see. So let's see, 4 plus 4 gives us 8? Yes. 4 plus 4 gives us 8? Yes. One side is down and one side is up. So you have 8 on this side. If you have a question, let us go through that question. Alona is saying why we subtract 8 from 4. You have it that way? When we subtract 4 from 8. Or no. On that side, it is saying that something plus 4. Something plus 4, right? Something plus 4. And we want that answer to be what? 8. So we are saying that it is unbalanced. We want it to be balanced, right? Yes. This side has so many? 8 things already. This side has 8 already. This side has 4 and something alone, right? Yes. And we need it to balance. How much and 4 will make 8? 4. Alright, no, but how do we know it is 4? We discover that when if you want to find the answer, then we're going to do opposite. And we're going to have 4 over that side. What is that going to be 4 over that side? Plus 4, right? Is that plus 4? Yes. Then there are 4 on that side. To find the answer, then we're going to do opposite. Minus 4. Alright? Alright, so let us go to this one, no people. Find out this one. Read this one for me.
X divided by 9 equals 2.
Alright, x divided by 9 equals 2. And we want to find the value of what?
X.
Alright, no, just by inspection. What would be the answer for that? It should be 18
multiplied.
18, don't it?
Yes.
Alright, so let us see now. What is happening to the 9 on this side?
You're multiplying.
You are dividing. So to get this balance, we're going to do this opposite, right? But opposite.
Multiply.
So we're going to multiply that side by 2 in order to find what? X. Alright, so let us go now. So 2 times 9 is what?
18.
So we can now put in the value to see if it is true. 18 divided by 2. Sorry, 18 divided by 9. 2. So 18 is correct for that one. You get that one, Alora?
Yes, miss.
Who don't get that one? Alright, let us look at the inspection. What subtract 4 gives us 9? 13. So let us see if we can get that answer using the balance method. Alright? So you're going to look at the number and see what is happening to the number. Alright, so what type of 4 do we have here? Negative. So we're saying it's a minus what? 4. Alright, so we write our minus 4 this side. So we identify that they're subtracting 4, right? Alright, no. So what is the opposite of negative 4? So we're going to add 4 to this side to find the answer. Alright? So it will be what? 9 plus 4 gives you 30. Alright, here anybody don't get that far so far? Oh, sorry, it should be P. Alright, now I'm going to send around this fan and you're going to pass within your group. I'm going to play the music. When I stop the music, then you're going to pull out the paper and work out the question, alright? So I take out that.
Oh na na, what's the name? Oh na na, what's the name?
Alright, so Tajay got that one. Everything on this Tajay? No man, you keep it under the music. Tajay will work out that one alone. Tajay, use the scale, no, use the scale.
now, want you now, now, now. Feels like I'm off the ground, ground, ground. Till I find you, I'm never coming down, down, down. Until
skateboarders. Susanna, your attempt to one word.
DJ got.
We have been engaged in the three-stage pre-conference observation and the post-conference clinical observation exercise. And I'm here with her now at the third stage. We have actually had a very sensational pre-conference, and our expectations were mostly delivered in the lesson that we observed. She is teacher of mathematics. The particular class for observation was 1T. There are 52 students. So these students she has described as energetic, and we did discover that they were enthused about mathematics. Good morning again, Ms. Mackenzie.
Good morning, Mr. Grant.
Yes. I believe that the lesson did go well for that group of students in 1T. We believe that your strengths are very obvious regarding your command of these students and your ability to inspire them to respond and to interact with each other. We found that your ability to give clear instructions and command a disciplined learning environment was very commendable. And we also found that the students enjoyed an interactive session with you, and you were able to focus not just on individuals but on peer partnership and sharing. Quickly, we found that possibly one of the main weaknesses that we could focus on is the ability to slow the pace, to use possibly one or two less activities at some occasions that would allow all the students to be on board. However, that said, I believe you can use your strength to alleviate all those minimal shortcomings as we move along. As we engage in this post-conference, I'm certain we'll be coming up with more details regarding what may be your strengths and weaknesses. Let me ask you first, as a teacher of maths, algebraic equations. By the way, let us remind you that the topic that our focus was algebraic equations. Yes.
Correct.
And your three-pronged objective was to actually do what?
For them to write algebraic equations, yes, and for them to solve algebraic equations.
Okay.
And for them to translate, would it going to be vice versa? Write it, translate it, and have the translation as equations as well.
Okay. Now, as you reflect on the lesson, to what extent were the students proactively engaged?
Right. I believe that they were proactively engaged as their background knowledge of writing algebraic expressions has helped them quickly to write algebraic equations. So they were able to transfer that information to help to assist with this class, and as a result of that, they were enthused about the lesson because they knew some aspects of what they would want to help to do this activity in this class.
Yeah. So you used an accomplished concept from a previous lesson to ensure that they would have that proactive engagement.
Yes, that's what I did.
Oh. Do you think that there could have been an effort to apply personal experience to the concept and
Certainly, because I could use situations like students having their lunch money each day and a particular amount of it was spent, or I could speak about football matches, because since you have students who play sport in that class, and they tell them that 3 matches were won out of 15 and they could represent that as algebraic equations.
And you think that that would have enhanced the proactive engagement?
Certainly, that would have, because they would have known about playing football and having their lunch money. And since it is something that they have and they like to spend, then at least they would like to write equations with such things.
Okay, yes, I understand. I observed during the lesson that there were students who actually volunteered to assist others. Do you think that could be a part of the proactive engagement?
Yes, I think so, because those students who understood well what was taught before, they were able to transfer that learning. They were quick with it. So as a result, they were willing to help other students who were not on par at the moment.
Yes. And that's something that you must be commended for actually grooming them in that direction. What evidence do you have to show that the students learned the goals that were identified before?
Alright, based on the activities given, the result has shown that students understood what they were taught.
Yes.
44 out of 48 students has their work has been excellent. Most of the students in the class were on par with what was taught. They were able to manage the activities and they were able to demonstrate a full understanding of what was taught.
Yes. And you say 44 or 48.
44 or 48.
Understanding that about 4 students were absent. In terms of meeting your instructional goals, were you able to compartmentalize the performance, say maybe excellent, average, and below average performance here?
Sure, I would say excellent, with the exception of 4 students who did not show well, and they were not below average, they were at average. Yes, they were at. And to get those students to the excellent level, what I did was to ask those students who understand well to assist with those students as I monitored them during their lunchtime.
Oh, so you actually, in the pre-conference, had mentioned having that lunchtime session, so you actually had that session?
Sure, because having the students in the classroom not understanding something, but the next activity or the next class, it will have them confused. So what I would do is after school or during their lunchtime, have them sort out the things that they didn't understand.
And facilitate the next lesson. That's a very good program to have ongoing. So you believe that about 90% of the students are
I would say 90 or 94, 95 about.
Well, we'll be seeing samples of these performances as we get to the end of this tape. Did you alter your goals or instructional plan as you taught the lesson?
Sure, because initially what I wanted is for each group to have 2 or 3 beam balances. I was not able to get that on time for the class, and as a result of that, I was the one who was innovative in terms of creating my whole beam balance, as well as the speaker that I wanted to use to play the music. It was not working at the moment, and as a result of that, I had to use the speaker for the phone.
Okay. Where it concerns the beam balance, is that a conventional innovation or to the best of your knowledge, is it something that you do as a unique practice?
Alright, I would say to the best of my knowledge that it's a unique practice. It is something that I sat down and think about thoroughly.
Yes.
So I would say it is a unique practice.
Yes, yes. And if you were unable to actually get the number of balances that you wanted, and as a result, how beneficial do you think it would have been if you had each group having, say, 2 or 3 of those?
Though it would be time consuming, students would understand more the concept of balancing, because in that way they would have the actual weight.
Yes.
And they would get to understand the concept fully about balancing themselves. And then students would be interactive with the material more if I had each
In
of
a tangible
in a
manner.
tangible manner.
So in lieu of that, what exact steps did you take in the...
Alright, with that now, I realized that what I did was that most students, all the students, had to draw it in their books. So
Okay.
at least, if you look in their book, you will see more than 5 beam balances in their book.
Yes.
And they get the concepts of what it is and they know what it represents.
Okay. And you use the whiteboard to demonstrate?
Yes, I use the whiteboard to demonstrate it.
Yes, yes. Excellent. If you had the opportunity to teach the lesson, again, to the same group of students, what are some of the things that you would do differently?
Alright, what I would do differently, for one, I would have cartridge paper with the balances.
Yes.
Some bright color cartridge paper that would be attractive to them. That alone would help to grab their attention.
Yes.
Though it is time consuming, I would still want to have each group having 2 or more beam balances
Yes.
for them to have a tangible experience with it.
Yes.
And I believe that they would understand the concept of balancing more in a tangible way.
Mhm. Regarding the business of building their critical thinking skills, I observed that there were times when the groups were functioning in individual perspectives. Do you think you could have had more competitive sessions between the groups, possibly a few group face-off?
Yes, I would have it, but again, I would have to think about the class.
Yes.
Or probably I would have to monitor it in terms of the activities and the pace at which they are moving.
Yes.
So I could limit the number of questions that I give to the class, the students in the class.
Yes, yes. Considering the topic that you're doing and those group of students, how do you see the achievement that they are making so far fitting in with the general curriculum in the months?
So far, I believe that they are on par with the general objectives for the subject area.
Mhm.
They have demonstrated a high level of understanding.
Yeah.
They have shown that they are capable of doing what the curriculum asks and requires to do.
Yes.
They are responding well to the curriculum.
Yeah. The business of the beam balance, do you think that these students could actually make models of the beam balance?
Yes, I believe so, and I could give it to them as an assignment.
Yes, yes. And that in itself would improve the productivity.
Would we improve it? And again, once students see equations, the word balance will come to mind.
Yes.
And they will understand the concept of why we try to get this side balance with that side.
Yes, yes, yes. Have you had another lesson with them since we had a conversation?
Yes, I have had about 3 lessons with them.
What have you observed regarding those concepts that you were teaching? Are they able to transfer the knowledge?
Certainly, because the follow-up activities, the one that we did in the lesson that we observed,
Yes.
we had just one operation list. The follow-up activities involved more than one operation.
Yes.
And I noticed that students understand better with the scale what exactly to do. Because it's a strategic scaling.
Yes.
It tells you exactly what to do and when and how.
Yes.
So they will observe the things in the equation
Yes.
and write it down. And once you get them to write down what is in the
equation,
Yes.
then it helps them, the scale helps them to know what to do to solve for the unknown. And they have been using it. If you look in their book, you would have seen it in their book and all. So
If you had the opportunity to, have you had the opportunity to show practical relationships between the theoretic concept of algebra with their personal experiences?
sure, because as I said before, concerning their lunch money, concerning some sports events,
Yeah.
concerning going to the market and all those stuff, students have been given those questions.
Yes.
They have been transferring them, translating them to algebraic equations,
Yes.
and they have been making their own equations using real life experiences.
Yes. Thinking about the other members of staff in your department, do you witness that they are using these innovative strategies, student-centered strategies to teach in general?
The truth is, it is time consuming, and not many teachers will have the time to do this.
Yes.
Most of them has been using the flow charts,
Yeah.
but I realize even though it is not a bad idea,
Yes.
some of the time the balancing concept doesn't come out with the flow charts.
Yes.
And the students don't know why they're solving equations. And I sat down and I think about it thoroughly as to why they are doing equations. Because many times they'll be asking the question, why is it that I'm doing this?
Yes.
And I believe that the word balance
Yes.
brought about the answer to those questions that they have been asking.
Yes. In the general context of the mathematics curriculum that leads them to the CSEC external exam, you have mentioned that you have a problem with concerns time-consuming interactive activities. Do you think that in itself inhibits your ability to be natural with the students and to allow their natural development to dictate the course of the lesson? Or do you think that as a department and as a teacher yourself, you find that you have to be pushing ahead of the students in an attempt to cover the syllabus?
Yes, you have to be pushing ahead of the students in an attempt to cover the syllabus.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I go back to the curriculum. The main aim of the curriculum is for students to understand abstract mathematics and to see it not as a subject within the four walls of the classroom, but to see it outside.
Yes.
And having some practical experience examples with them, then they will see that mathematics is not within the classroom only.
Yes, yes. So, have you had any opportunity to work with your colleagues in a quest to make mathematics more tangible and experienced, even in the context of the curriculum?
Sure do. Because when we have ideas like this, what I did with this class, we will share it with each other.
Yes.
But again, not with every class we will do this. Some will do it with some classes.
Yes.
And depending on how comfortable you are with the topic, then you do these activities.
Compared with other students, possibly even at other grade levels or even other 7th grade classes that you will be teaching now, what advantages do you see with one team why you would have chosen to use this activity then, as opposed to
The other classes. Alright, the truth is that, especially with the fourth form students, I realize that when you give them an equation, they have no idea as to what to do at the initial stage. And I go back to say that I took a question from one of the fourth form classes and I gave it to the students in one team and they were able to complete that question very quick. Interesting. Because the truth is, with the beam balance, you are seeing the operation that is taking place, and to get the result, you are going to do the reverse. So I believe that foundation concepts, once they are set, then it should be easier for students. So you have to, with the fourth form classes, I have to go in back to algebraic equations with them before I can actually go ahead and do some of the algebraic equations with them to solve.
And they may be frustrated at that stage.
And they may, not maybe, but they are
got frustrated because I remember changing the subject for that, the topic for that day, in order not to confuse them. And for the other classes, I had to start all over with algebraic equations with them. So I'm saying that once these students get this foundation concept and the idea of balancing, it shouldn't be a problem with them for 8, 9, 10, or 11.
So an awareness of this academic stage of 1T and your acknowledgement of students at higher levels in the curriculum, you are ensuring that you emphasize.
Yes, I am ensuring, and I won't stop to say that it makes sense that you spend time teaching the foundation concepts rather than teaching the syllabus.
Yes.
It makes sense.
I understand. All right. We have been looking at some samples of work that shows the range of ability in the class and with the context of this particular topic. And again, we want to commend you for the use of your questioning techniques, your allowance of the students to do peer critique and to make their own presentations. And I'm suggesting that you could engage in a peer coaching activity with other maths teachers in your department, because they may benefit from this activity that you're using. So I'm suggesting that you could do a peer coaching activity or you could do a peer coaching partnership with one of the teachers in your department or in the next department meeting. You could decide how that could go. But peer coaching actually allows you to work with one of your peers in the department and actually engage in the teaching of strategies and critiquing of the teaching in a manner that would improve the process. In fact, I would volunteer myself at the end of this post-conference to be a part of the peer coaching circumstance with you, if you would so allow.
That's a nice idea. I accept that comment, and I think I will work on it. Peer coaching, because when different minds come together, then we can get different things out of it.
Do you have any closing comments you want to make about the lesson or the strategies you use?
Closing comments, what I would say is that I really enjoyed using
Well, I've engaged the interaction with you during this clinical observation, and I believe that if you continue working on those strengths that you have, and I admire your ability to propose the weaknesses that you face and challenges and solutions to them as well. I believe as we continue through this evaluation exercise, learning and teaching will get stronger. Right?
I thank you and your comments.
Yes.
I'll say it in a positive way and see as much as possible we can improve on the areas.
Thanks.
Thanks.
So we have enjoyed an informative session with Ms. Mackenzie. We will now concern ourselves with the way forward where the teaching of mathematics is concerned here at St. Thomas Technical High School. And we hope that you would have benefited somehow from the engagement that we have exposed you so far. Thank you very much.